Guys, how we doing? I'm Ryan Mack. Welcome back to Trading Guys. This week we are going to run through the fundamentals from last week and this week. Let's have a look, first of all, at some kind of pairs that came in last week. So I, in the group, caught, what was the first one? Let me think. I caught gold. Let's just jump down to gold. I actually caught gold sales. Yeah, so that's on the daily chart. Let me just jump down to maybe the hourly. So I'd actually caught gold from here down to here. I actually closed it as it came back up here. So I caught it down to here, and as it came back up, I closed it out here. And some of the guys actually caught this as a buy as well. So, you know, 6.5 a dozen. Some of the guys got this as well. I think Anthony and Alex in the group caught this. Let me just check. In fact, I can show you instead of saying I think. Where are they? There we go. Look, there it is right there. So, yep, there's Alex caught it, and Anthony caught it. All right. They caught this one here. I actually caught this from here down the way. I was in this for a good few days, maybe even a full week. I think I was in gold. At 1 minute it was in profit, then, you know, down, then profit, then down, then profit, and then I just let it go. The other one, which we did get, let me just move up. GBP NZD, that was a cracker. I gave that to the group. So your GBP NZD here. Where did I catch it? Yeah, I caught it. I actually caught it like right down here. I believe I caught it. Was it around here I got it? And then it pulled back and then it went. Wait, I'll tell you right now because I have it here in the signals. GBP NZD entry was 2.9213. Let's just have a look. You can put this on here if you want to see where that is. You can double click on it and it comes up. So it's 2.29213. Oh, wait. Okay. 213. There you go. So that was my entry right there. Just it came up. I actually I like to be open and honest and show you. I didn't enter as this retest. I entered here. The minute this broke here, I entered. Then it instantly pulled back. That's when you start thinking, "Oh my God, have I done the right thing?" You know, if you're new to trading. But I don't trade based on candles. Yes, I follow price action for triggers, but I don't take buys based on a candle moving up. And I don't take sells based on candles moving down. I decide if I'm taking a buy or a sell based on fundamental data. Essentially, is the pound stronger than New Zealand dollar? Absolutely. Is it in a good area to buy from in terms of value? Absolutely. You know, so I base it on all these different factors. These are just little triggers. So I entered it actually as this came up, and then we spent a day or two in drawdown, came back up, draw down again, and then away it went. Okay. And I just held it. I literally closed it out. When I'll just show you where my take profit was. TP 234151, right? So 234151. Let's have a look at this. Where's the bloody? You can just bang it anywhere because you're going to type it anyway. 234151. There you go. Look, that's where my take profit was, and that's exactly where I got tapped out. Bang on the money. Small candle, large engulfing, which shows volume. Here it is again, small candle, volume, comes up, retests that area and goes. Boom, comes up to retest that area. And now I think it's still going to continue. However, I was more than happy with the profit from here to there. And when you're in such a large profit, you don't want it to then start coming all the way back down and thinking, oh my God, I should have closed it here at a large profit and then just re-entered when it comes down to retest a certain area. You know what I mean? So that's pound NZD, which the guys caught. What else did we get? NZD USD. This was absolutely Meltsville. You can see it clearer on the daily. So look, here's the one that I already gave in. If you watched last week's video, you would have saw that I already gave you this trade. Boom. I actually didn't take this. I didn't notice it because I was already in so many bloody trades. I was in gold, pound NZD, USD CAD, and was there another one? I was in at least in those three. I think I might have been in one more. So I didn't get this one. However, Andreas in our group took that trade, and he was like, "Fucking hell, mate, this is flying!" And by the time it was already flying, it was already down here. So I was just like, "Well done, mate." That's why I give the setups, guys. If you come across here in our group, right? I'll just show you it. Down here, under community, you'll see that we have an option here or a section, sorry, that says swing trade setups. Right now, every week, if there is a setup, I post the setups in here. Look, you can click on any of them, and it tells you what we're looking for, right? So there's USD CAD, right? Let's look at USD CAD now. There we go, look. So here it is here. I'm going to just show you the double screen here, hold on. There we go, look. Look at this here, look. Bang, bang, away it goes. Bang, bang, away it goes. Right, there it is, bosh. It's off, right? So I always give... I always give these markups so that in case I miss it or I'm away up a mountain or fucking volcano or something and I'm just not here to give you it and I don't take it, then you can take it on your own, alright? What else we got here? We've got tons. Yeah, so I've given them all in here, right? I won't waste your time going through them all because you can clearly see it. But this is one thing that we do. I give the signals. And my business partner Lee, because he's a scalper, he can't give signals because by the time he's taken the trade himself, he's typed in the signal, sent it to the group. You've got a notification on your phone to have a look. Then you open your phone, you go into your fucking MT5, MT4, whatever it is, to place the trade, and you're jumping back to the message to see the details and copy it. By the time you've done all that, you've missed the fucking trade, guys. You've completely missed it. So what he does is he gives setups, right? So look, here it's right here. He gives this buying now, and he'll do something like this. So you know that behind this red box, right? Behind this red box is where his stop loss is. He doesn't have to say to you, my stop loss is here. He just sends this photograph, and you know, oh, his stop loss is there where that red box ends, right? The entry is just here. Just after that red box is his entry, and this is his take profit. You just know that, right? Even if you didn't know much about trading, you would kind of guess, oh, is that what we're looking for, right? Because it's pretty common sense. So he gives that, and then as you can see, boom, here it is, bosh, and you close it there. Now you can see it's came back down here, look. It's because it's a scalp, right? These guys aren't holding this long term. It's just a scalp. They're just taking it from here to here, closing the trade out, and away you go, all right? Members made money on that, and also one of our members lost money on it because instead of closing this when it goes here, he just held on to it and it's pulled back down and closed them out at a loss, So you have to be aware of that as well. You have to do all the actions. Look at this. This is one of our members, Anthony. Anthony now takes all the trades himself, which is fucking fantastic. Look, lost 500, up 15 quid, lost 130, up 3 grand, 3.7, up 4.1, right? And his accounts are always like that. If I come across here to trade results, it's always like that. Here's Alex, look. Alex, Anthony again. Alex, look at that, what a week. 6 grand. And you can see it. All right, so look, if you enjoy watching the videos and you actually want mentorship, right, you want to be mentored daily, weekly, monthly, we've got tons of videos up here which you have to put the work in, guys. We can't fucking spoon feed you. However, if you want the mentorship, it's all here for you. If you ever want to jump on and do live trading, I'm always here to do it. I used to do it every single day. Not one single fucker turned up apart from Brian pretty much every day. Anthony would jump on occasion, but because he's a scalper, he prefers scalping. It's not really much, benefit to him. And Mass Chris used to jump on. That was literally it. Fucking no cunt else ever jumped on. So I'd stopped just doing them constantly every single day because I was just wasting my fucking time, and I've got, tons of shit I could be doing on top of that. However, that being said, as I always say to the guys in the group, I am here every single day. So if any of you ever want to do lives, run through questions and answers or whatever, then just drop me a DM and I will literally spend, I don't care if it's 30 minutes with you or 4 hours with you, I will cover absolutely everything that you want to cover, right? I'm always open that way, so you just need to DM me. Nobody ever DMs me. So that's it, guys. Let's now jump across to fundamentals, all right? So as always, you're going to get your notepad out, you're going to write currency strengths, strong, weak, and neutral, alright? And you do this every week. This is fucking religious. Now, they don't change every week. Some of them will, but context is important because there'll be times where I'm like, oh, this is strong, this is weak, blah, blah, blah. And you might look at it. If I'm saying something strong, you might look at it that week and it's showing bearish. It's dropping. You're like, well, that guy fucking said that was strong last week. What a load of shit. You need context, right? I'm looking at it in the grand scheme of things, the bigger picture. That coming down is part of the strength because it's just a pullback. I'm not taking that sell. I'm waiting for that pullback for it to hit an area of value for me to then enter the buy and ride the actual wave back up, right? It's like this. I'm going to show you. Here we go. Perfect example. Look. So if I'm like, oh, it's strong, and you're looking at it and it's going like this, buying coming down, you're going to be like, oh, it's fucking melting, and he's saying it's strong. Or even here, look, it's melting, and he's saying it's strong. Well, look, it is strong because I'm thinking about the big picture. I'm thinking about this, whereas you're thinking about in this time frame. I'm ignoring this noise and I'm waiting for it to hit these areas and I'm looking to then take the buy. As you can see, I actually did it here. Boom. All right. So you can see that's exactly what I'm looking for. So you need context, right? There's things will show up bearish or bullish in the intraday, like what's happening right now. Okay, but because I'm a swing trader, I'm interested in the whole big picture. Is the whole economy of that currency strong overall, or is it just having a shitty week? You know what I mean? And stuff like that. Okay, so context is very important. With trading, it's not one size fits all, right? There's so many different complexities that make it difficult. There's your emotional side. There's bias. Sometimes in the beginning, when you first start trading, you tend to marry a bias and you become clouded by it. So instead of looking at the cold hard data here, right, you'd be like, oh, I'm looking for sales in USD CAD. And it's like, well, why? And you may have built up this picture. So as USD CAD's fucking flying, you're not entering any of the trades because you've married this bias in your mind, and it's a bias of bullshit because it's not based on cold hard data. The bias that you make up in your mind just from fucking nonsense is exactly that. It's nonsense. You should always be getting your information from cold hard data, all right? Because that's going to give you all the information that you need to know, is this going strong, is this going weak, and so on. So anyway, moving on. Strong, weak, and neutral, right? You write that down in your books, and the reason why we do that is once we go through this, we will mark down the economies which are strong, i.e. the currencies which are weak, and the currencies which are neutral. The ones that are neutral, we just ignore them. The ones that are strong and weak, that is how you decide, well, it's how I decide what you're going to trade that week. So it's like, oh, fucking hell, pound super strong, NZD super weak. Okay, pound strong, NZD weak. I'm looking to trade pound New Zealand. And on top of that, I know that I'm looking to fucking buy pound New Zealand. I'm not looking to sell that fucker. I'm looking to buy it. You see what I'm saying? So that's how you can trade with cold hard data and have a perfectly good fucking reason to trade, not just trading because one candle has broken a stupid fucking line on your page, right? Lines and technical analysis are important, but it should never be your reason why you've entered a trade. It can be your reason for why you've entered a trade at a particular point. Yes, it can be your reason for entering the market at a certain point, but it should never be a reason why you're taking a trade. Like, why am I taking this as a buy? Why am I taking it as a sell? Oh, because the candle broke a stupid fucking line I just drew in my page 1 second ago. Ask yourself a question, do you think a banker would do that? Do you think a banker's going to come across here and be like that? Oh, well, the candle broke my line, it's time to enter buys. Of course he's not, because I'll tell you why, it's because he's not fucking mentally retarded, that's why. And they just wouldn't do it, right? Now, like I said, lines and stuff, they are very important for technical analysis, but it's your reason of why you would enter a trade at a particular point, okay? Whether that be an area of value by basing it up on your Fibonacci and this, that, the other. There's many factors. Anyway, I'm fucking blabbering on now. Let's go. So as always, guys, when I'm going through the pairs, I always go through each currency slash economy one by one, right? Apart from AUD, New Zealand, and China. It's because they're all positively correlated. I'm not going to get into the ins and outs of that again this video because I've already done it in the last video. I went quite in depth. Every so many videos, every so often, I will cover them in depth. But yeah, I just don't want to do every fucking video. So anyway, let's just fly through this. That was what we could be on 8th. Okay, that's this week. So let's see what we've got. Bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. That's actually slightly bullish, so don't be fooled that that's red, okay? If people don't know how to read and interpret this, they'll just see the colour red and go, oh, that must mean bearish because it's red and red means bad. So if you look at the previous, it was 0.1, right? And now it's 0.2, so it's actually increased. So why is it bearish? Well, it's bearish because they forecasted it to come higher. They forecasted it to come in at 0.5%, which is far higher. But because it came in less than forecasted, they've painted it red, okay? But you have to look at the previous. The previous was 0.1, and the actual, like right now, is 0.2. That means there has been an increase, which means it's bullish, okay? So try not to get confused with the colours. See, when it comes to things like this, excuse me, manufacturing PMI and like services PMI, and you get these numbers like 50.6, 51.2, it's actually dead fucking simple if you want to write this down. Anything from 50 and above is bullish for the economy, right? Anything from 49.9 below is bearish for the economy, right? That's the way it's seen as that anyway. Now, when you see this, this is a good example here. You know, previously it was 51.2 and now it's 50.6. Well, that's taking quite a big drop, right? Excuse me, people will jump on that and be like, oh, it's fucking bearish, look at that, it's dropping. It's not bearish because it's still above 50, so it's bullish. It just means that things are slightly getting worse. Yes, things have slowed down since the last reading, yes. However, when that remains above 50, it's still bullish, all right? It's still positive, so don't get trapped in thinking just because it's dropped down lower, that it's bearish, okay? Commodity prices have dropped. Now, you normally find commodity year on year. That's probably because if China's manufacturing stuff has dropped, you probably find that's dropped as well. Cash rate, so Australia did not cut rates. GDP price index, negative. Slightly bullish, it's getting better. Employment change. Yeah, it's getting better, but it just didn't come in as good as they anticipated. Unemployment rate hasn't grown, so that's bearish. I mean, that's kind of... This one here is neither bearish nor bullish, it's just kind of meh. But it's getting better, right? Below here, unemployment rate, bearish. Labour cost index, bearish. Commodity prices still negative. Bullish. Bullish. Trade balance, bearish, and bearish. So it's kind of mixed data, all right? It's where are we here? It's a bit of mixed data there, and you do get that. See if you're kind of humming and hawing, it's like some's good, some's bad. That's all it is, mixed data. AUD neutral, and I'm just going to keep that here in neutral. AUD and NZD I'm keeping in weak, and of course China we don't write down China because we don't trade it, right? We just look at it because it is positively correlated to them. If China's doing well, AUD will do well. If China's doing bad, AUD will do bad, all right? And when it comes to AUD as well, that's actually negatively correlated with the USD. So if USD is doing well, you normally also find that AUD is doing badly. And if USD is doing badly, AUD will normally be doing quite well, right? They're negatively correlated. They move in polar opposites of each other. This week coming up, we've got CPI China, PPI, both year on year. We want to see that. Money supply, yep. New loans, yep. AUD employment change, we want to see that. Unemployment, so they're expecting employment to be higher and unemployment to be lower, right? So let's keep an eye on for that. Retail sales, industrial production, we want to see all these things. So things like industrial production, if that increases, right, then you can kind of get from that Australia should be potentially looking to start getting stronger as well, right? Whereas if industrial production China slows down, then the Aussie economy will slow down as well. Okay, that's kind of how you can kind of think ahead and get a bit of advanced info, if you like. But yeah, that's what we've got coming up for next week. CAD. Let's have a look. This week we had manufacturing PMI is bearish. So look, even though it's increased 47.7 to 49.6, yes, it's an increase. Excuse me, but it's still bearish because it hasn't broken that 50 threshold, right? Remember, when it comes to Canada, the Canadian economy, it's very closely pegged to oil. So if oil's doing well, the Canadian economy and currency will do well. If oil's doing shit, then the Canadian dollar will do pretty shit as well, okay? IVPMI is still bullish. I mean, it's took a massive fucking tanking, but it's still bullish, right? Employment change, that's bullish, and unemployment is bearish because that's I'm talking shit. Employment change is bullish, and unemployment is also bullish because unemployment has dropped, right? So that's good, but it's not enough to make. It's just a good week, right? It's not. It doesn't mean the Canadian economy is bullish. The Canadian economy is absolutely fucking wank, and I'm going to put that in a week as well. Next week, we don't really have much that we care about for the Canadian dollar, so let's move on. Swiss franc, I never look at that anymore. As I say, it's just boring. We never trade it based on data. We simply trade it based on the market sentiment, right? Is it risk on sentiment or risk off sentiment? Spanish manufacturing PMI. So let's just run through this. I'm not going to fucking break down each individual one. Bullish, bearish, 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 bullish, bearish, bullish, 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 bearish, bullish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish. Again, don't be put off that that's red. If you look at previous, it was -3, and now it's +1, right? So don't be put off for that. I nearly get caught out there because I was flying through it. Bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, 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 bearish. So that's very much mixed data, okay? PMI services, these ones are in Italy and Spain. They're not really going to have an effect on the euro. The ones that we really care about are Germany. This one is bullish, bullish, bearish, right? France and Germany are the ones that we care about when it comes to that. What did I have euro as last week? Was it neutral, was it? I know I still had it strong. What we got coming up this week? Bank holiday Monday for Bank holiday Tuesday, sorry, for France. CPI month on month. We don't really have that much. A couple of CPIs, but they're nothing. They're just month on months, right? So nothing really spectacular. For now, let's have a look at the euro. Let's see what it is over on Z chart. And there we go. Look, still in a bullish position. So it can either break up here and push through, or it's going to reject here. It's either going to do this, look, right? It's either going to go at that, bang, push through, boom, 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 right, and continue to the upside, or it's going to go like this, bish, bash, and we're going to get news in, it will make it drop, bum, 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 right? I think it's going to be this one. I think it's more stronger than it is weaker, all right? Even if it comes down to here, I still see it kind of being, you know, fairly... Wait, I'll move this across. There we go. Boom. Because that's going to happen now, isn't it? Look, if you move this across, it's already happened. Boom, 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 boom. But I mean, as I say, it might just come here and fly. All right. This is just a kind of template guide. So I'm actually still going to keep Euro and strong for now. Excuse me. Moving on, pound. Just got a couple more left, guys, and that's us. It's not going to be a very long video. Where are we? Pound, flash manufacturing, bearish. Getting better, but bearish. Final services PMI, bullish and getting stronger. Construction PMI, bearish. No rate cut, still at 4%. Halifax, and that's bullish, right? So we had good news last week for the pound. Let's see, next week we have got retail sales monitor year on year. We want to see that. Claimant count, average earnings index, unemployment rate, GDP, manufacturing production, index of services. We've got goods trades balance. We've got loads of stuff that we want to see next week, right, for the pound. Nothing on Friday. Bearing in mind the US government data is impacted because there's a government shutdown. Alright, so we still have to wait for that. That will change a lot of things when it finally opens back up. When it comes down to things like goods trades balance, and you see like a minus, that's just basically, you get two things, right? It's either a deficit, which this is in right now, because you can see the minus, that means it's a deficit, or it doesn't have the minus sign and it's a surplus. So basically, if it's in a deficit, it means that the British government are importing far more stuff than they're exporting, i.e. they're buying more shit, so they're spending more money, right? If you're exporting more, that means you're selling more shit and you're making more money, so it'll be in a surplus, right? Just going to write that down for you. Hold on, I just need to top up my yerba mate. Honestly, guys, see if you've never tried this, you have to try it. It's that Argentinian tea. You probably see like Messi, and all that. Drink it. It tastes like shit, like green tea, but if you put a big knob of honey in this bottle and even squeeze an orange into it, it's absolutely fucking beautiful. And it's got the same amount of caffeine as coffee, right? But it has chemicals in it, in the plant, not like factory chemicals, like chemicals from the plant, that make it slow release. So when you drink a coffee and you get that kind of high for about an hour, and then you start fucking crashing and you need another coffee maybe 2-3 hours later, you don't get that from yerba mate. You just get this constant energy and focus. You can see I'm yawning now. That's why I started drinking it, because I'm knackered. But honestly, you get this constant clean energy and focus. It's brilliant. You don't get any jittery feeling. You know, sometimes coffee gives you jitters and all that. You don't get that with this. It's honestly amazing. So pound, I think I had that neutral last week. Yeah, I'm going to keep it neutral for now. So just have to remember, even although I'm putting this in neutral, the pound for me is actually, it's like a weak bullish, right? So, I mean, you could put it in strong if you wanted. You could argue that you keep it in strong like the euro or neutral. I'm just going to wait and see how it plays out. But I am more bullish on the pound than I am bearish, all right? Japan. Final manufacturing PMI, bearish, bullish, bearish. Okay. Average cash earnings year on year has increased. So all that means is average cash earnings just means people are earning more money at their jobs, right? So it's like if last year you were earning 21 grand a year, this year for doing the exact same job you're earning 24 grand a year, you know? And it's a good indicator. The reason why the Japanese government have given people higher wages is that when people get more money, right, they don't save it or invest it. They just buy a load of shit with it. It's why they call us consumers. We are consumers because we consume fucking products. We're just like fucking the human termites, right? Oh, that's why they call us consumers, because we consume. That's why we get paid ads in our face every fucking 2 seconds getting us to buy a load of shit, because they know that we'll buy it if the marketing's right. So when average cash earnings is higher, all that means is people are earning more money in the work that they're doing, right, than they were last year, because it's year on year. If people are earning more money, it means they have more money at the end of the month than they did last year. If they have more money at the end of the month, they're going to buy more shit. They're going to take their girlfriend out for 2 meals a month instead of 1 meal a month, you know, or 1 meal a week instead of 1 meal a month. They're going to go on holidays, you know, and all these other things. They're going to go spend more time in bars, restaurants, buying clothes, shopping, you know. So all these things stimulates the economy. That's why they try to give people extra wages when the actual economy itself is not growing, right? That's why they do it. Bank lending year on year, current account. Bank lending year on year, we want to see that, because if the banks are lending more money, it means people have more money because they've borrowed more money from the banks. If people have borrowed more money from the banks, it means they're going to spend more money in the shops. So that, or, going to buy houses, renovate their house, do up their garden, get their bathroom done, buy a new car, so they're stimulating the economy. Current account, 30-year bond economy watchers, prelim machinery materials, we want to see that. Money stock, yep. PPI, year on year, yep. Yeah, so we've got some news next week that we want to see for the Japanese yen. Not that it's going to matter because the Japanese yen is fucked. So I'm going to put that in week, okay? Neutral, don't forget to put CHF, Swiss franc, over in neutral. That's always in neutral for me, all right? Because with the Swiss franc, it doesn't matter if you're not ever going to get any kind of economy news which makes that booming. Swiss franc is traded based upon market sentiment, right? Is it risk on or risk off? If markets are risk on, then you're in layman's terms, you're looking to sell Swiss franc, against a stronger pair during times of risk on, which is like 95% of the market. And when markets are risk off, you're looking to buy Swiss franc because it's a safe haven currency, right? Japanese yen, Swiss franc, gold, NZD, they're all safe haven currencies / assets, right? USD, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bearish, bullish, 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 bullish. What is that? Challenger job cuts, is that bullish or bearish? Less than forecast. Okay, so that's bearish. Bullish, bullish, bullish. Alright, so the USD is still a powerhouse. I think last week I had it in neutral, didn't I? Yes, I did. I will move it back to strong. This week coming up, we have got CPI. CPI is always a big week. Unemployment claims, mortgage delinquencies. So mortgage delinquency is a good one. It's how many people have basically failed to pay their mortgage. Obviously, we don't like to see that in a sadistic way, but it's good to see it, to see, are things strong or are things going weak, right? If the delinquency rate goes up, it means, yeah, people aren't, the economy's going to come down, because if you can't pay your mortgage, you aren't going to be going to restaurants, you aren't going to be buying mobile phones, you aren't going to be fucking fueling up your car to go road trips. You know what I mean? You aren't going to be hanging out in bars, so you're not going to be stimulating the economy, so it's a negative. Core PPI, month on month, core retail sales, PMI. Yeah, we've got loads that we want to see next week, alright? So, just to wrap this up here, guys. Currency strengths. I've got strong Euro, USD. Like I said, you could argue and you could put GBP over there and keep both the Euro and the Pound as weak bullish. If you want to do that, there's no harm in doing that. I've just kept GBP neutral for now because in my mind I already know it's kind of weak bullish, alright? I'm just going to watch it and play it by ear. I've got Euro strong, USD strong, weak NZD, CAD, JPY, neutral, AUD, GBP, and CHF. Okay, I'll say that one more time. Strong, Euro, USD, weak, NZD, CAD, JPY, neutral, AUD, GBP, and CHF. Alright, guys, now all you're going to do now, you're going to go and look at those pairs like Euro, Japanese yen. I'm going to go and look for buys, right? Euro CAD, you're going to go and look for buys. Euro NZD, going to go and look for buys. NZD USD, you're going to go and look for sells, right? That's how you fucking know what you're trading, alright? That's how you have a reason to trade. But that's it, guys. Next week I'm off to Bali. My sister is over visiting from Scotland just now for a month, so next week we're going to take her over to Bali so she can get like the whole experience, not just stuck in Jakarta City. And yeah, so I won't really be on the charts next week, guys. I'm not arsed because I smashed like fucking 5 banging trades last week over the last 2 weeks, and I'm just gonna leave it at that for now. Everything's all good. What else? That's pretty much us for now, guys. All right. Look, if you're still struggling with trading and you've tried all these groups, whatever, you're more than welcome to come across this. Okay. At the trading, guys, you can hit us. I'll put the link below this video, and you can also get us on things like Instagram and so on. You can come across, join us. We've got tons of educational videos up the top here at education. Look, boom, 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 boom. We've got swing trade, scalps, newbie, risk management, trading psychology, forex books, fundamentals, the whole shebang, right? And trading chat. You can copy our trades as well, okay? And if you ever want to do a live like this, where I'll share my screen and you and I can talk through examples, I'll jump on and I'll say to you, right, fucking, where are we? Right, NZD CAD, would you buy this or would you sell it? Okay, we're looking for buys. We're looking for sales. Where would you enter this and why would you enter it there? Right, you're going to give out all these. We can run through all the different scenarios, is what I mean. Okay. And I'm happy to do that as long as it takes to get you up and running. All right. So, thanks for watching, guys. I'm Ryan Mack. This is the Trading Guys. Have a great week. Don't overtrade. Don't over risk. Don't be greedy. Don't think about money when you're trading. Just think about risking low. So if you have a loss, it doesn't affect you. You're not like, oh, fuck, I can't believe I just lost 300 quid. Oh my God, what am I going to do? Don't think that way. Just make your risk low so that when you have a loss, you don't give a fuck. You just move on to the next trade, right? And don't carry the negativities of a losing trade over onto your next trade. Every single trade is its each individual one. They're no relation to each other, okay? So you have to try and separate that as well. This is some of the stuff that makes trading hard because it's the psychology part of it, right? It's quite difficult for people. But if you stick with it, study, and practice, you will fucking get there. One of our lads, Jevons, he's funny as fuck. He's in our group and he keeps losing. And we keep saying, mate, study the videos. And his response was actually, why should I study if I keep losing? You know, he doesn't realise you keep losing because you're not fucking studying, you know? So you just have to do it, guys. You have to learn it. You have to practice it. And there might be times where you have to watch a ton of videos over and over and over again. And that's perfectly fine. We've all had to do that. There's no get rich quick scheme here, alright? You need to put in the fucking work. It's as simple as that. So, thank you for watching. Have a great week. Take care.